On this sacred night of July 11, as the full moon rises in its radiant glory, the veil between thought and form becomes whisper, thin. This is not just a lunar event. It is a cosmic invitation to awaken to the divine truth that your thoughts are seeds, and this portal is the fertile soil. Every idea you hold, every emotion you feel, every inner word you speak, now carries the power to crystallize into your physical reality faster than ever before. You are standing at the edge of a great spiritual doorway, one that responds not to action, but to assumption. This full moon doesn't bless the lucky. It magnifies the consciousness of the one who dares to believe in the unseen, who chooses to feel the wish fulfilled. It is not about wishing upon a star, but realizing you are the star, and your inner world commands the skies. What you accept as true tonight will echo into your tomorrow. Let this portal be the moment you stop hoping and start knowing. On this July 11 full moon, the cosmos unveils a secret only the awakened will truly understand. The moon, high above in its silvery glow, is not just a heavenly body, it is a mirror of your mind. As it reflects the sun's light upon the dark canvas of night, it also reflects the contents of your subconscious into the light of your physical world. Everything you are experiencing now, whether joyful or sorrowful, desirable or painful, is a direct echo of the thoughts, assumptions, and beliefs you have entertained and accepted within. You are not simply reacting to life, you are receiving what you once imagined to be true. The moon does not create, it reflects, just like your external life. It does not originate your reality, but faithfully mirrors the movie playing in the theater of your consciousness. This is the law that governs all manifestation. Inner reality precedes outer expression. And under the spiritual energy of this full moon portal, that law becomes supercharged. What took months can now take days. What once seemed out of reach begins to orbit toward you with surprising speed. But the key remains the same. It is your thoughts, your feelings, your assumptions that the universe listens to. The moon is not granting you new blessings out of charity. It is magnifying what you have already planted within. So now you must ask, what have you been thinking? What feelings have you allowed to take root and grow? What concept have you been entertaining when no one is watching? Because just like the moon reflects the sun, your life reflects your state of being. Nothing comes to you randomly. The people, events, delays, and miracles all point back to a central origin. You. This moon holds no bias. It doesn't judge your desires or punish your doubts. It simply illuminates what you've held in the dark corners of your heart and mind. If you have longed for love but quietly feared rejection, this moon will reflect that fear through circumstances that match. If you've dreamed of abundance but harbored beliefs of unworthiness, this portal will amplify your hidden resistance. But if you dare to believe in your worth, to see yourself as already healed, already chosen, already successful, then this moon will reflect that back with divine precision. You are not here to plead with the stars. You are here to remember that the stars obey the laws of your imagination. The moon is a servant of your inner world, not a master over your fate. It bends to what you persist in mentally. You must treat this full moon not as a spectacle to observe, but as a sacred invitation to revise your inner story. Change your thoughts, and you change the reflection. You cannot break a mirror by screaming at it. You must change the image it reflects. Likewise, you cannot transform your outer world without shifting your inner speech. The moon cannot help but reflect what you truly are, not what you pretend to be. You must become in consciousness what you desire to see in form. Do not wait for signs. Become the sign. Do not wait for proof. Become the evidence. This is what the moon responds to. It waits for you to wake up to your role as the source, not the victim. And once you do, the world begins to bend. Relationships shift. Opportunities appear, blockages dissolve. The full moon does not create these things. It reveals them, for they were always within you. You are the one with the power to make this portal mean everything or nothing. If you approach it with hesitation, it reflects back hesitation. If you approach it with clarity, with expectancy, with certainty that your imagination is divine, it mirrors that certainty back with startling synchronicity. The moon is not magical. It simply magnifies your dominant vibration. What you are conscious of being, you become. What you assume to be true becomes fact. You may think it's the moon that has changed things, but truly, it is your own permission to believe that changes everything. So tonight, beneath this radiant sky, speak inwardly as one who already possesses. Feel the feelings of the one who has already received. Think not from a place of longing, but from a place of fulfillment. Say to yourself, "It is done," for the moon will reflect that statement not as fantasy, but as reality. Don't use this night to wish-use it to know. Don't beg the universe. Become the version of you that no longer waits. The world outside has always been the echo of your inner speech. What will you let the moon reflect now? There is a sacred truth hidden in plain sight, one that the July 11 full moon portal brings to the surface with irresistible force. The portal does not open when the clock strikes a certain hour, nor when the stars align just right. It opens the moment you feel that it is so. The power is not in the date, the astrology, or the lunar cycle. It is in the state of consciousness you dare to enter. You are not waiting on time, time is waiting on you. The instant you assume that what you desire is already yours, you step into the portal. The door opens, not because heaven grants you permission, but because you have finally believed you belong in the room. Feeling is the secret, not mere words, not forced affirmations, not hollow declarations, but the deep, still, silent conviction within that says, "This is mine." The full moon tonight is charged with energy that amplifies that conviction. It sharpens the frequency of your being, making your feelings more magnetic than ever. This portal does not honor passivity. It responds to boldness. When you feel from the end when you dwell in the experience of the wish fulfilled, you collapse the illusion of separation between you and your desire, and in that collapse the manifestation rushes forward like water breaking through a dam. The problem for most is they wait for outer signs before they give themselves permission to feel, but this full moon demands a reversal. It says, "Feel now, and the signs will follow. Don't look to the sky for proof. Look within, the moment you dare to feel yourself in possession of your dream, whether it be love, healing, wealth, or freedom. You activate the spiritual laws that govern this universe. You declare, 'I am ready,' and not with your lips, but with your state. You move from wishing to knowing, and in that knowing the portal reveals itself. You don't need to earn this access. You don't need to beg for permission. The door was always there, but it was invisible to the doubting eye. This moon merely unveils what your belief has made possible. The deeper question is, what are you willing to feel tonight? Not what are you hoping for, but what are you brave enough to embody emotionally? Are you willing to feel loved before the text arrives? Are you willing to feel wealthy before the money hits your account? Are you willing to feel healthy before the symptoms vanish? That is what opens the portal. Not effort, but emotional embodiment, not striving, but surrender to the end state. The universe does not require time to deliver. It requires your agreement with the reality you desire. An agreement is not made with words alone. It is sealed with feeling. That's why some see miraculous change in hours, while others wait years. It is not about worthiness or favor, it's about alignment. And the alignment begins with the feeling that it is already done. This July 11, if you can enter into the emotional experience of your fulfilled desire and dwell there, not just for a moment, but as a lifestyle, the entire fabric of your reality will shift. You will see coincidences line up. You'll feel the atmosphere around you change. People will respond to you differently. Opportunities will appear without effort. Why? Because you no longer vibrate as someone hoping. You vibrate as someone who knows. And the universe always reflects what you know within yourself to be true. But remember, you cannot trick this process. You cannot fake the feeling. The portal does not respond to desperation wrapped in spiritual language. It responds to authenticity. It demands the courage to feel fulfilled even when nothing outside has changed. That's where true power is born. That's where your spiritual authority awakens. The full moon amplifies whatever state you hold, so be mindful of what you are nourishing. If you hold fear, it will grow. If you hold peace, it will deepen. If you hold joy, it will overflow. So tonight, choose your emotional home wisely. Don't wait for the evidence to give yourself permission to feel successful. Feel it now. Don't wait for the world to validate you before you decide you are enough. Know it now. Don't wait for the miracle to feel gratitude. Live in the gratitude now. That is the moment the portal swings wide open, not just for a brief glimpse, but as a permanent passage into your higher self. This full moon is not passive. It is interactive. It is a mirror, a magnet, a spotlight, and it amplifies what you offer it. If you walk in fear, it will show you what fear creates. If you walk in faith, it will show you what belief can move. You do not need to look for signs. The signs will look for you once your feeling is aligned. This portal responds to your being, not your begging. You don't manifest by saying please. You manifest by saying thank you, in advance. Live in the assumption that your desire is already a fact, and life will rush to match your new frequency. So tonight, let this full moon be the end of your waiting. Let it be the death of your doubt and the rebirth of your certainty. The portal is open, not because of the stars above, but because of the conviction within. Now is your moment. Feel it is so, and so it shall be. The greatest secret hidden behind the veil of all mysticism, scripture, and ancient wisdom is this: your imagination is not a daydream. It is the architect of your reality. And on this sacred night of the July 11 full moon, the energy of the universe bends even more swiftly to what you vividly imagine and emotionally believe. Reality does not lead imagination. Imagination leads reality. What you see in your external world is nothing more than a reflection of what you have previously imagined within and accepted as true. This is the night when the gap between thought and manifestation narrows, when the substance of what you conceive internally begins to take form externally, almost without delay. The moon's light does not just brighten the sky, it illuminates the truth that your imagination is not fiction, it is creation. The question is not when will it happen, but what are you imagining now, because what you persist in imagining is exactly what you will encounter in the days to come. You may have been told that life is hard, that you must work endlessly to achieve your desires, that reality is fixed and only bends for the lucky, but that is a lie sustained only by your belief in it. The moment you dare to imagine boldly, to imagine lovingly, to imagine with faith and emotional conviction, the entire construct of your outer world begins to reorganize itself to make room for the new version of you. Imagination is not idle fantasy. It is divine law in action. It is your spiritual permission slip to live as though your dream is already fact. And when you do this, when you live from the end, not toward it, when you think not about the thing but from the thing, the full moon acts as an amplifier of that inner experience and reflects it back into your life with startling clarity. So tonight, do not waste your inner world on fear, replaying past traumas, or entertaining doubt. Those are also imaginations, misused yet just as powerful. What you fear you often create, not because life is cruel, but because life is obedient. The universe listens not to what you beg for, but to what you expect. Your expectations are built in the theater of imagination. When you see yourself as healed, successful, adored, safe, abundant, and when you feel it deeply, not for a second, but with sustained conviction, reality must obey. The world cannot resist a mind that knows what it is creating. This full moon brings a unique moment of heightened clarity, a moment where the mind's images become magnetic, where every scene you rehearse mentally begins to attract its counterpart in the material world. The universe is not distant, it is within you. It is responding now, not tomorrow, to what you are imagining this very instant. Think of the people you wish to see differently. Now imagine them lovingly. Think of the home you desire. Now walk through it in your imagination. Feel the texture of the life you want to live as though it is already here. That is your true act of power tonight. And remember, the more real it feels inside, the faster it becomes real outside. But if you waver, if you doubt, if you declare one thing and imagine another, your reality will reflect the conflict. The full moon magnifies what is sustained, not what is momentary, so hold the vision. Nourish it daily. Let no outer evidence contradict your inner truth. Many will spend this night looking up, wishing on the moon, hoping something good happens, but you, if you understand the law, you will not wish. You will create. You will move in consciousness to the end result and dwell there as though you have already arrived. You will feel the joy now. You will feel the peace now. You will feel the gratitude now. And as you do, the vibration of your being shifts, and the world must mirror that shift back to you. Do not ask how it will happen. That is not your job. The how belongs to the unseen intelligence that governs all things. Your only task is to imagine and feel as though it is done. This is how reality bends. This is how doors open. This is how coincidences pile up in your favor, because imagination, sustained with emotion, is a spiritual command. The world cannot resist it. So ask yourself tonight, what vision are you loyal to? Are you still entertaining images of failure, rejection, loss, scarcity? Then do not be surprised when life presents those very conditions. But if you are wise, if you are bold, you will use this moon as a mirror and a magnifier. You will sit in silence and enter the state of the wish fulfilled. You will see it clearly, feel it fully, and know that it is already yours. Not because you're lucky, but because you imagined it and refused to come out of that state. That is what changes everything, and the moon, obedient and reflective, will echo that conviction with unfolding miracles, divine timing, and perfect arrangements. Tonight is not about manifesting something small. Tonight is about remembering that reality is flexible, malleable, obedient to your mental pictures. Don't shrink your vision, expand it. Don't doubt your power, wield it. The full moon is not the source of your power, but it is a spotlight upon it. You are the creator, and this is your moment to decide what the next chapter of your life will look like, not by effort, but by imagination. Not by hustle, but by assumption. Let this be the night you stop responding to the world and start commanding it from within, and as you do, watch reality bow to your inner world. Watch it shift, shape, and sparkle in harmony with your vision. Because when imagination is honored as truth, the world has no choice but to reflect it as fact. There comes a moment in every awakened soul's journey when they stop pointing outward and finally look within, when they realize that life is not happening to them but through them. And on this transformative night of the July 11 full moon, that revelation becomes not just a spiritual idea but a living experience. You are the cause, not the effect. You are not a victim of your past, your environment, your upbringing, or even your circumstances. Everything you see, every person you meet, every obstacle you face, and every blessing you enjoy is an echo of a previous state of consciousness you once occupied. This moon, glowing fully in the sky, is not merely a celestial body. It is a divine mirror reminding you of your own creative authority. It reflects not just light, but law. It reveals what you've impressed upon your subconscious and accepted as truth. This is the portal where excuses dissolve and self-responsibility is born, not the heavy responsibility of guilt or blame, but the sacred recognition that you are the dreamer of your own dream. Whatever is playing out in the external world, whether beautiful or painful, has its root in your inner state. You are not subject to chance. You are the cause behind every scene, every delay, every breakthrough, and every silence. The world does not shape you. Your assumptions shape the world, and the moment you shift the assumptions, the world begins to respond with astonishing precision. This full moon is not just lighting up the sky, it is lighting up your self-awareness. It invites you to stop reacting and start revising. If the current reality displeases you, you don't have to wait for others to change or beg the universe to rescue you. You simply go within and revise your self-concept. Change the way you see yourself in imagination, and the world will change how it sees you in return. The outer world is only ever a screen onto which the movie of your dominant beliefs is projected, and now, under this moon's heightened energy, those projections are arriving faster than ever. The time between planting and harvest is shrinking, and so the question becomes urgent. What are you planting in your consciousness today? If your relationships feel cold or distant, look within. Have you assumed rejection, abandonment, unworthiness? If your finances are in drought, look within. Have you silently identified with lack, limitation, or fear of not having enough? If your body is unwell, look within. Have you accepted sickness as part of your identity? Whatever lives in your inner world rules your outer world. This is not punishment, it's power, because once you recognize that you are the cause, you also realize that you hold the remedy. You are not stuck. You are not broken. You are simply experiencing the reflection of a belief system that no longer serves your highest vision. And tonight, as the moon brings light to the shadows, you have the sacred opportunity to replace every unconscious pattern with intentional creation. You can no longer afford to say, "They did this to me," or "Life is unfair." That language keeps you enslaved to illusions. The moment you say, "I have imagined this consciously or unconsciously, and I can now imagine something new," you reclaim your throne as the creator. You stop being a pawn and become the player. The full moon portal isn't a rescue, it's a reminder that the power has always been yours. This portal doesn't magically fix your life. It gives you clarity about your position in the divine structure of creation. It magnifies the role of your own mind, and it offers acceleration to whatever you decide to assume as true. If you accept this truth, you no longer need to fix people. You simply change your state, and people will show up differently. You no longer need to manipulate the environment. You change your inner world, and your environment rearranges itself effortlessly. You no longer need to fight, strive, push, or chase. You rest in the awareness that reality must obey the seed you plant within. But this also means you must become brutally honest with yourself. No more hiding behind spiritual language while secretly entertaining fear. No more affirming abundance while dwelling in lack. No more declaring love while expecting rejection. The full moon brings your inner contradictions to the surface, not to shame you, but to free you. It says, choose the state you wish to occupy. Choose the story you wish to tell. Choose the role you wish to play. And once chosen, do not waver, do not explain yourself, do not second. Guess, simply dwell in the end with childlike faith. The world will catch up. You are not an effect. You are not here to endure what others have created. You are the cause, and therefore you are the answer. You don't need permission to change your life, only the willingness to assume a new identity. So tonight, under this moon, assume it boldly. Don't wait for someone to confirm it. Don't look to the past for evidence. Assume it because you can, because you are not the echo. You are the voice. You are not the puppet. You are the hand behind the strings. You are not the passenger. You are the driver. And the scenery around you will only ever reflect the direction in which you've turned your inner wheel. The universe is not punishing you with problems. It is responding to your patterns. And now, as this portal opens wide, you have the rare opportunity to change the pattern at its source. Go into your mind, enter the silence, close your eyes and see yourself as you wish to be, not as you appear. Hear the congratulations, feel the peace, smell the atmosphere of your success, and believe not because you have proof, but because you've decided to. That's how powerful you are. You are the cause. The moon tonight will reflect what you decide in stillness. Don't ask for change. Become the change, and the world, without fail, will mirror that transformation back to you. There is a divine equation that governs all reality, one more powerful than logic, more exact than science, more ancient than the stars. Emotion plus assumption equals manifestation. And under the sacred energy of this July 11 full moon portal, this equation operates at its highest intensity. You don't manifest what you merely want. You manifest what you emotionally embody and inwardly assume to be true. This night is not just a cosmic phase, it is a spiritual amplifier magnifying the state you occupy within yourself and accelerating its expression into the world. The universe is not moved by empty affirmations or repetitive rituals. It is moved by feeling, real, alive, embodied emotion, married to assumption. This is the divine union that births your new reality. Every time you imagine the outcome you desire and feel it as if it were already yours, you are planting a seed in the womb of the universe. And when that seed is consistently nourished with emotional conviction and unshakable assumption, it must grow, it must bear fruit, and it must appear in your outer life, often in ways you never expected, but always in divine precision. Too many people imagine without feeling, and feel without directing that energy toward assumption. But this portal will not respond to scattered wishes. It responds only to aligned inner being. That means you must feel with intention. You must assume with clarity. You must marry the two so deeply that the world has no choice but to mirror that fusion back to you. If you want love, do not just picture it. Feel the warmth, the connection, the joy of already being loved. If you want abundance, do not just say affirmations. Feel the security, the freedom, the overflow of already having more than enough. This moon, shining in its fullness, does not reward those who merely visualize. It honors those who inwardly become. It shines its light on your emotional frequency and your self-concept. It multiplies the vibration you are sustaining, not what you are hoping. And so, the great task of tonight is not to chase blessings, but to become the person who has already received them in consciousness. Every great change begins within, not with action, but with embodiment. You are always creating, knowingly or unknowingly, based on the emotional assumptions you hold. If you feel unworthy and assume rejection, life will reflect that script. If you feel chosen and assume favor, life will align in ways that appear miraculous. But it's not luck, it's law. What you internalize, you externalize. The full moon's energy speeds up this process. The gap between inner conviction and outer evidence closes under this portal. And so the real work is to deliberately craft your internal state. Not once, but consistently. Do not get discouraged when the outer world lags behind. Persist in the state, and the outer will be forced to conform. Remember, emotion is the fuel, assumption is the vehicle, and manifestation is the destination. You cannot reach where you want to go by fueling with fear or assuming doubt. Those inner states take you in the opposite direction. That's why emotional mastery is not optional. It is essential. You must become aware of how you feel when you think about your desire. Is it fear or faith, anxiety or gratitude, lack or overflow? The universe listens to your dominant emotion, not your passing thoughts. The portal tonight sharpens that signal. It takes what you feel most and brings it to life with divine speed. So the invitation is clear. Feel it now. Don't wait for circumstances to change to feel successful. Feel the success and watch circumstances shift. Don't wait for the money to feel secure. Feel the security, and the money will find its way to you. Don't wait for the apology to feel loved. Feel loved now, and relationships will reflect that love back to you. Emotion is the language of the soul, and when it is paired with unwavering assumption, it becomes irresistible. This moon doesn't care what has happened before. It responds only to what you believe now. Let go of the story that says you have to struggle. Release the identity that clings to pain. Step into the state where your desire is already true, and let the feeling rise. Let the joy flood you. Let the gratitude soak you. Let the peace settle into your bones. That is the signal. That is the vibration. That is the prayer that gets answered. And yet, many people struggle because they wait to feel until the manifestation arrives. But the truth is reversed. The manifestation arrives because they chose to feel first. That is the mystical reversal that changes everything. The law does not respond to the physical. It responds to the energetic. You are not separate from your desire. You are simply in a different emotional frequency. Change the frequency, and the reality changes to match. That is why tonight matters. The veil is thin. The response is rapid. What you imprint upon your inner self now will shape the next chapter of your life. Not because of superstition, but because the subconscious responds to feeling, not logic. It cannot tell the difference between a vividly felt imagination and a physical experience. And so, your task is to go within and live the reality of the wish fulfilled so deeply that the subconscious accepts it, and the universe confirms it. This is not make-believe, it is spiritual law. You are not lying to yourself when you assume your dream is real. You are awakening to the greater truth that consciousness precedes form. You are not delusional to feel joy before the evidence. You are faithful, and the faithful are always rewarded. So tonight, sit in silence, breathe deep, close your eyes, and enter the scene. Walk in it, touch it, laugh in it, receive in it, be in it, and above all, feel it. Feel the gratitude of prayers answered. Feel the delight of dreams fulfilled. Feel the calm of a life aligned, and as you do, know this, the universe has already responded. The seeds are already planted. The path is already cleared. The only thing left is your continued agreement with the new reality through sustained feeling and bold assumption. The moon will do its part. It will shine, reflect, and magnify. Your job is to stay in the vibration of what you have claimed. Emotion plus assumption. It is not theory, it is law, and tonight that law is more alive than ever. Use it, honor it, trust it, and then watch how quickly the world bends in your favor. Manifestation is no longer a mystery. It is the natural result of a mind that dares to feel as though it is already done.